I've just finished reading an amazing account from history of a repeat of what I believe is Acts chapter 2. And this took place in about 1688. Now, many of our good friends who are in the Reformed faith and who believe that gifts of the Holy Spirit have passed away would find this of great interest, because many today, when they look upon the Pentecostal movement and they see people speaking in tongues, one of the things they have against the speaking in tongues which they see today is it does not sound like a language, or perhaps it sounds just like gobbledygook or repeating 2 or 3 words over and over again. And so many would claim that, who are cessationists, that for the gifts of the Holy Spirit to be in operation today, then tongues would have to be a recognized, or indeed at least a language, and not just a few words spoken over and over again repetitively. Well, the account I've been reading from history concerns what I believe was an outpouring of the Holy Spirit from about 1688 that took place in the Cevenne in France. And the people concerned were mostly young teenagers and even children, or older children. And the thing that strikes me most about this is that the accounts that have been given by good, reputable, and what I believe to be honest reports from different individuals, in these accounts, the young people that were speaking fluent French. And in one of the accounts that I was reading, there was a youth who couldn't have been any older than maybe 12 or 13 years old at the most, because the person that was writing the report would have been only 17 years old at the time when he witnessed this event. And what he heard was a youth preaching from, or giving an exposition or a sermon in a huge public assembly in the area of Cevenne. And what we discover there is that the youth, who is speaking perfect French, and he took for his text Isaiah 55, "Ho, everyone that thirsts." And for the space of 2 hours he preached in perfect French. But out of the influence of the Holy Spirit, he couldn't speak a word of French, but only the dialect, only the language that was spoken by those rustic peoples that were living on the mountainous area of Cevenne. And this happened to quite a number of young people. They would preach in perfect fluent French, having never learned these languages. Well, if it can happen in 1688, and it's been repeated even only once since the day of Pentecost, then it is repeatable again. And I found this a tremendous blessing, reading that there were these assemblies, and these people were under persecution at that time, and they had to have secret assemblies, even though there were several hundreds of them in their assemblies. Well, let me read to you this account, which is taken from prophetical extracts and from documents formed into a book at that time, 1707, which is called a cry in the desert, or a cry from the desert. And let you be the judge of whether you believe that Pentecost is repeatable. As witnesses heard young people preach fluently in French who could not do so when they were not under the influence of the Spirit.